Today I want to share some of our homeschool favorites with you. Hey guys, so I'm Chantel and I blog over at Intentional Homeschooling, and I kind of wanted to start this segment where I regularly share some of our homeschool favorites. I did one back in the summer. I think I called it Homeschool Lately, like what's working in our homeschool lately or something. And pretty much that's what that was, and that's what we're gonna do today. So there's been a number of different things that we've been doing this year. One of the things that, probably because we unschool, something that I've been kind of relying heavily on, and that is the idea of strewing. Stumble over it. If you watched my last day in the life video, which was a month or two ago already at this point, I shared a little bit of the strewing from that day in that video, but pretty much what it is just me putting out different resources for my kids every day and not forcing them to do them, but allowing them to, follow them at their own pace, pick them up at their own pace, depending what it is. So some of the different things that we've done is I've done DIY word searches where I've given them a blank paper with, the boxes, and they put in the words and we can do each other's word search. We've done hangman. I've pulled out different games that my kids have not played in a while, or like the ones that have been tucked in the back that they've forgotten about. The one day that I did the day in the life, we did like an advanced memory kind of game where they looked at a card that had a bunch of different colors of dots on it, and then they looked at it for 10 seconds, put it down, and then tried to recreate that. That was incredibly challenging, like a lot more challenging than it actually sounds, but they had a lot of fun with that. And then we've done some like shape challenges where I just had a bunch of different shapes out and asked them to create something. And like, my kids are so creative, because I was like, what would I create? Like maybe a castle out of these shapes. My daughter went and did a dog, and I think my son did a boat, and just like, man, I have zero creativity compared to these kids, which is great. I mean, I wish I had more creativity, but I'm so proud of them for their creativity that they have. And then like the second part of this strewing that I've been doing, I also kind of like call it like an invitation to learn or an invitation to play. I know people use those different phrases for different things sometimes, but to me, like putting out a resource or an activity out there for them is really an invitation to learn. Anytime that there's something that they can be learning something, that is an invitation to learn. So a big part of what that's been in the last few months is me taking library books out and putting them on the coffee table. So this is kind of like a 2-in-1, because one of the things we're loving lately is going to the library again. Now, I don't take my kids with me because of how things are right now. Actually, even before this, I didn't generally. I just put all the books on hold and then go pick them all up. And we usually get out like 30 to 50 books at a time, because my library is amazing. And I've been sharing a number of the ones that we love over on the YouTube channel here. Like every month or so, I've been sharing like a stack of good ones before we bring them back. And I think people have been liking that. It's fun to share the ones that we've been enjoying, and then hopefully other people can get them from their library or buy them and enjoy them as well. So what I've been doing, instead of how I used to do it where I would, just like stack the library books or kind of like spread them out as much as possible, what I'm doing is I'm leaving them in our bag or our bin in the closet and just taking out like 2 to 3 books a day and putting them on the coffee table for them to pick up and browse as they wish. This has helped so much. So it used to be I'd get out, let's say 30 books, and they would take like the 3 most interesting ones off the bat, and then they would just kind of ignore the rest of them. And I mean, that's not terrible, but this way, if I take out 3 a day, they generally look at least 2 of them, and then every day there's something new. So it's not just like all this stuff and then nothing for a long time. And I find that it's been helping my kids to pick up the books more, read them more, and just get them more excited about coming up in the morning and seeing what's going to be on the coffee table. This has been one of my absolute favorite things in this last month. My other absolute favorite thing is what we are doing line-a-day journals. So I've been doing this for myself now for over a year, where you just have a page, and every day, like the page is dated, let's say October 1st. And then every October 1st for the next few years, you write on this page and you write something that you did. The one I have is a 5-year journal. And we decided to be cheap, and we bought notebooks from the Dollarama. But also, it wasn't just cheap. I wanted to get going on this right away. Like, I would have been fine with spending the money to buy the books for my kids, but then I would have had to wait for them to come here, and I wanted to get going on this right away. So we bought these $4 notebooks from Amazon. This is, or not from Amazon, from Dollarama. This is my daughter's. And what we did, most days, we're gonna be doing 2 separate days at a time. So this was September 12th, and this is September 13th. And so they're only gonna be doing 2 years in here. So this is gonna be this year, September 12th. This will be next year, September 12th. This year, September 13th, and next year, September 13th. And what we did right at the beginning, so we started this September 11th. They each did a little bit of an about me. And then some days, because we have the ability, so this was a day my daughter had her birthday party, September 30th. Then she wanted a bigger space, so we gave her half a page there. And then next year, September 30th, she'll have half a page. And then same with her birthday, which was October 2nd. Then she had half a page there, and we'll have half a page on her birthday again next year. Yeah, so these have been really fun. I told them they don't always have to like write what they're doing that day or what they did that day. They could write a poem, they could draw a picture, like be creative. Just something to get them writing a little bit, and also just to make this really cool keepsake. I had a hard time finding a book with enough pages for the year. Like, this one has 240 pages, so that's why we needed to do multiple days per page, at least sometimes. So for that reason, we can only do 2 years, but I think that'll be good. You know, we can look back next year when we're writing and see what they were doing on this day. And then if we want to keep going, we'll just buy another notebook, and you can kind of keep these out, especially with a spiral bound. You know, you could just turn it every day and be like, okay, what did I do on this day 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Yeah, so I think these will be a really fun thing to look back on. And this has pretty much taken place of our 3-step simple homeschool schedule that I started in the summer, because this has them writing every day. Another thing to note, actually, sometimes they forget a day. Whatever. What they do then is they just go back and they write what they did that day. So technically they're not writing every single day all the time, but they're writing almost every day, and it's something. A game my son has been really loving lately, I think I shared it in one of our last homeschool resource hauls, is Gravity Maze. So this is just a bunch of cubes with different openings, and you put the marble in and you try to get it to the exit. Like, it's a super simple idea, but honestly, it can really challenge the brain, thinking like, okay, where's the marble gonna go and how do you get it to the end? And he spent a lot of time playing with that, and I love being able to see, like, his mind works so much better for this kind of thing than mine does. He likes figuring out how things work, and that is how his brain works, and I just love seeing him get really excited about it and succeed in doing this. And it's been a really fun addition to our homeschool resources. This is a resource we've been loving forever, for years. I share about it all the time, I feel like, but we recently re-listened to George Mueller. I will probably do a read aloud summary here, sharing the books that we have read aloud in the last few months soon, but this was the latest one that we finished. George Mueller has such an amazing story. I have tried to read 2 different versions of George Mueller's story. The original one that was written in the early 1900s, or earlier in the 1900s anyway, and the Men of Faith series one. And I don't know, I personally found them really boring. But the Christian Heroes Then and Now series, I feel like is really well written and keeps my attention. It's written more like a story, and I feel like George Mueller is still such a great example, and I really look up to him. So after this, then my daughter's like, okay, we need to do another Christian Heroes book, but this time we're doing a female. So the one we're doing right now is Mildred Cable. She goes to China as a missionary. We're not super far into it yet, but she's in China so far. One of the things my daughter has been doing like all the time lately is filming and editing videos. I think I've shared, probably just in my newsletter, maybe here on YouTube, that my daughter and son started a YouTube channel where they have a Lego show, and they're supposed to be putting out a video every week. It hasn't quite happened in the last while, but she's been doing a lot of video filming and editing on her own. And she just has a private YouTube channel where she puts up her videos privately. That way they can be stored online forever, or at least as long as YouTube is around. And it's been really fun to see her creativity and how much she's learning these video editing programs. Like, I can't believe how much she has learned. She doesn't need my help at all. She films it with an old phone that I have. She puts it on the computer. We both use Filmora for editing. So she brings that up. She does like text and all the things. She exports it, she uploads it, she does the description, everything. And that has been very interesting. One of the things I like about homeschooling, and specifically unschooling, is just letting my kids follow their interests and passions. I don't know if my daughter would have found this interest if I hadn't been doing it. You know, like kids like to copy their parents a lot. But she can film and edit so many videos a day. It's baffling, really. But I'm so thankful that she has the time to do this. She can use the time throughout the day because we don't have like a strict schedule and things that we need to be checking off, that she can be spending her time doing the things that she enjoys. And then I think the last homeschool favorite I have right now is just going for walks as a family. Since March, my husband has been working from home, and it has been amazing because he can take a break in the day. We can go for a little family walk, and it just makes us feel like more like a family than when he's working and it's just me and the kids. I've been really enjoying that. And we've also been intentional about getting out and doing kind of like slightly bigger walks slash hikes. Hike is term used very loosely. But I've been really enjoying that as family, and that's one of my favorites from the last few months. So I think those are all or at least my favorites in the last little while. I would love to hear what you guys have been loving lately, any resources you've been loving, books you've been loving. Let me know and I'm going to hopefully check them out. And thanks for watching, guys.